welcome back to the kit room. Today we're going to be looking at coffee. Coffee is a big part of my day normally, and on an adventure that is no different. There are lots of different ways you can make coffee, and it very much depends on how fast you need to be, how light you need to be, how quick you need to be, and just how desperately you need that caffeine hit when you're on an adventure. Now, I have a number of different ways of making coffee. Coffee comes, I think, in three ways. You have your instant coffee, which I try my hardest to stay away from. And then I have coffee grounds, and then you have coffee beans. So there are different ways of coping with these. Now, I have my coffee cup. This is a LIFEVENTURE titanium coffee cup, so it weighs pretty much nothing. It's got lovely little extendable arms here, and this is what I take on all my adventures. Love this cup. Great thing is you can put a carabiner on it and attach it to the outside of your rucksack if you're trying to reduce weight. This one actually fits my first aid kit inside, so very useful that way as well. But we have the coffee cup. Now, we're wanting to make coffee. What are we going to do? So first up, if I'm being light fast, I'm running across Iceland or something like that, I am going to use these little sachets of instant coffee. Now, I found these ones, the Starbucks, they're very tasty for instant coffee. I find them slightly more useful. I know there's a bit more litter, but I find them slightly more useful than like having a jar of instant coffee, just because it's extra weight and it's extra bulk. And I've tried putting instant coffee into a bag, but nearly every single time it has split and gone everywhere and caused more hassle and strife than it really is necessary. So I go for these little sachets. You wake up in the morning, you've got your water boiling, into the coffee cup, hot water, coffee, caffeine, done, you're on your way. Now, if I have the time to make my coffee a little bit more of a special routine and a special treat, then I move up to the Java drip here, which is ingenious. So very clever little arms that clip on to your coffee cup like so. You put your coffee grounds in here, and then you pour your hot water. I like to do it in a little circular motion, just to make sure you're getting all the goodness and the flavour out of the coffee. It drips into your coffee cup, you unclip it, get rid of your coffee grounds, however you're going to do that, and give it a quick clean. You have a great cup of coffee. This is very lightweight and packs down very small. It is quite fragile, so you just have to make sure you're not going to snap any of your arms, but this is a great alternative to have proper coffee when you're out camping. Now, another way to do it is a cup like this, which comes with a plunger in the cup. So you put your coffee in the bottom, you add your water, filter on top, press down, and then you have a cup of coffee, even with a nice little cap to go on to keep it warm. However, again, it's a bit more bulk than this, and a bit more weight, but it's going to give you a good cup of coffee. Then we move to more kind of technical coffee making machines. Now, I've always been a fan of KAFFLANO. I have 3 of the products here. I'm going to run through each of them. The first one, the one that I probably use the most on adventures, is this. This is the KOMPACT. The KOMPACT looks like this. It comes with a smart little case, and on the top you open up the top and it springs to life like this. Inside, once you take off the filter, is you have a kind of silicone bladder. You put your coffee inside the silicone bladder, then you add in the hot water, you reattach the filter, you let it get all the goodness out of the coffee, and then you turn it over and then you squeeze it into your cup. Then you have the process of just opening this up, emptying the coffee grinds out, quick wash with some water, quick clean of the filter, put it back together, close it down, stick the top on, back into the pouch, coffee's done, delicious. Now, this is a very nice compact system. It makes great coffee. It does take a little bit of water to clean, but not too much. So if you've got the space, this is a really good option. Now, if you're just looking for an espresso, then this is the KOMPRESSO. This is a very clever little machine which is designed to make you a perfect espresso. Now, you need a certain amount of pressure to drive through the coffee to be able to make a good cup of coffee, and that's what this whole thing is about. So it comes apart like this into 4 main pieces. You have your little cup, you have your filter, you have the water vessel, and you have the plunger. So what you do here is you attach your cup onto the bottom, you put your coffee onto this top thing. Very cleverly, this top bit turns over to become a little stomper to get your coffee all compact down. You then screw on the top, you put 60 milliliters of hot water in, you then delicately place this on top, and then you squeeze it together and your beautiful coffee comes out the bottom. You remove your coffee cup, enjoy the espresso, and then you go about cleaning this. This screws off, you knock out the coffee, you give that a quick wash, and you just give this a clean. There are videos on how to clean this effectively and with as little water as possible on YouTube, so you can look that up. And then last of not least, the king of the coffee kind of travel devices is this. This is the original CAFFLANO. It's the Classic is what its name is, and what you have here is a cup, a grinder, a filter, and a cup. Now, I said cup twice. What I mean on that is this is where you're going to be drinking your coffee from, and on top of that directly sits the filter. You then have this clever device, the grinder, which goes on, which has a handle that flips out. You get your measurement of coffee, beans, and you put the beans into the top of here. You then grind your coffee, and the coffee grinds fall into the filter. Once you have the amount of coffee you require, you take off the grinder. You then use this cup to hot water, and there is a small hole here which you use to pour the water over the coffee grinds. That then filters through, and you remove the filter, and you have your coffee. Very cleverly, the top of this actually screws off to give you a cap to go over your coffee if you want to keep it warm. This is obviously the kind of one that's going to give you the best cup of coffee, but you are going to have to carry a bag of coffee beans. You're going to have to carry this, which is a lot larger than the other devices, but it is going to give you a great cup of coffee. And if you're in a camper van, this is a really good option to take. So these are how I make my coffee when I'm on adventures. Obviously, depending what the adventure is, means which coffee appliance I'm going to take. One little note for this, which I was told about, which is quite clever, is that if you're going on an aeroplane and you really don't like aeroplane coffee, or you're going somewhere where they have bad coffee, make sure this is clean and dry, and add your coffee filters into it before you leave. You have it all ready, and then when you're on the aeroplane, you just ask for a glass of hot water, you pour it inside, you make your own coffee. You've got to really love coffee to do that, but there we are. I'm going to put the links to all these below, and hope this is useful. Coffee is a very important part of adventuring for me, and I'm sure it is for lots of other people.